Hey everyone, I just wanted to put together a video today talking about the true cost of Diablo Immortal. Now, there's been tons of creators out there talking about, okay, it's going to cost you 110K, it's going to cost you 500K, it's going to cost you 50K, I spent 25K, whatever. We're going to talk about the statistical average costs that pertain to Diablo Immortal and maxing out. What do I consider maxing out? We're going to consider 6 rank 10 5 out of 5 star gems. Now we're also going to include resonance, which is a system that appears to be on people's radar now. While we knew about it for quite a while, I want to talk about that as well. I'm not going to make any judgments in this video. I just want to talk about the real costs behind it, including the market and the platinum price of these items, because a lot of people just see the prices in the shop and say, okay, that is exactly what it's going to cost based on the Crest value. But no one I've seen includes the cost of gems pertaining to the market. Now, I will caveat and say that this video is based on the marketplace in my server. And so if your server is much more expensive or cheaper than mine, you could either get easier maxed character, or you could get a much more difficult time to max your character. So let's walk through this entire spreadsheet that I've gone ahead and built for us to kind of diagnose all the parts of the game and where I'm coming up with all these numbers. So first thing, I wanted to go ahead and estimate the value of a singular crest. So right here we have one crest costs you 160 eternal orbs, which is about $2.22 US dollars. We're using the American currency here, so this is not any other currency that you might be looking at. Then we have the cost of platinum. I also dropped this down here because it's very important, because buying platinum tends to be significantly cheaper to purchase a 5 out of 5 star gem rather than running crests and trying to earn one. So one platinum costs you much less than a cent, and you can usually, you can't really buy one platinum. You have to buy in like 500s. So basically though, one platinum is a little bit less, about 1/10 of a cent in terms of monetary value. Then we have the rates of all of the star drops from a singular crest. Now, it's very important that we calculate the gem power here, because the gem power is what you need to upgrade a gem from one rank to another, along with duplicates of that specific gem. So how much gem power do we need in order to fully upgrade a 5-star legendary gem from rank 1 to rank 10? Well, we are going to need 4,450 gem power, which is a lot of gem power. Now, if we were to use the base value of the crests here and talk about the average gem power, right here what I have is sort of a weighted average, because based on the chances here of your 1, 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, or 5 out of 5 star gem, you are going to get a different amount of gem power based on the platinum that you would get from each of these gems. Now, these gems are a little interesting because this is an average, assuming that you're going to use the 3 out of 5, 3, 4, and 5 out of 5 as a basically selling it on the market, because those are the exact same gem power as the 2 out of 5. So a 5 out of 5, which is significantly lower rate than a 2 out of 5, is the exact same gem power. Really stupid, but it is what it is. So we're going to assume that we're going to sell the 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, and 5 out of 5s on the market, and the rest we're going to use for gem power. And this is the average power that you're getting per dollar. So the average power that you're getting per dollar is about 1.6. Let's just round up. Now, if we're getting the average power about 1.6 per crest, then that means we're going to need to spend about $2,900. I've not had this estimate over here because there's actually a better way to get gem power, and that comes from these numbers over here. Now, these numbers over here are my server's numbers. What I've done is gone ahead and basically taken every single gem in the game. If it's a 1 star, if it's a 2-star, if it's 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, or 5 out of 5, and gone ahead and placed what my server is selling, each of the different types of gems, taken an average, and then taken the average power per plat that we're getting for each of these gems. Now, just to show you real quick, hopping over to Diablo here, what does this actually look like? Well, it looks like this. So if we go into the market here and talk about these legendary gems, well, we can just go ahead and look at Zodstone, which ends up selling for about 10, 14 platinum at the lowest amount. These things refresh all the time. So if we just go hop back right over to the spreadsheet here, you will see that the 1-star legendary gem begins with the 10, 14 platinum. That is going to be the Zodstone. So we've gone ahead and taken an average of every single gem in each of the categories and gone ahead and averaged them out based on my server. Now, these averages are located down here. Then we can come up with an average power per platinum, which basically means what is going to give us the most amount of gem power per amount of platinum that we're spending. And this means that we could find that 2 stars on my server are going to be the best way to pick up some gem power on average. Now, you'll have some outliers for sure, especially in the 2 out of 5 star gem category. But overall, this is about the best gem power on return that we will get. So then if we return over here to the platinum per crests, we're going to find out that because this is the amount of gem power that we can receive for selling our items on the market, we can also find out the average platinum that we can get per legendary gem, because we can look at the average, go ahead and do that, put that in there, and then subtract the market tax, which is 15%. And then we can come up with a number for average plat that we will receive per gem drop. Gives us the total average plat per crest, which is about 3,600, which gives us about 1,600 platinum per dollar. Now, what's interesting about this is a lot of people believe that purchasing platinum from the shop directly is going to give you more value for your money. In fact, it's actually better off to go buy the crests, run the rifts, and then sell your legendary gems off in the market, at least on my server, and then buy your legendary gems that way, rather than just buying platinum straight out. Again, this is based on a statistical average. If you get unlucky, you get unlucky. If you get lucky, you get lucky. It is what it is. Then we can find out the power per crest, or the average power per dollar. And we find that it is 1.6758. If we compare that to the singular crest, you can see 1.58, which means that this is going to give us more power per dollar than the singular crest. So what does this mean? Well, if we go ahead and just put this into our calculations here for amount of gem power, we need about $2,655 in order for us to get the gem power we need to rank up a 5-star gem to rank 10. Now, here's where it gets even more expensive, as it always does. We need 73 duplicates in order for us to get our gem to rank 10. What does this mean? Well, this means that whatever gem you're upgrading, you need 73 duplicates of that specific gem. And that means the prices can vary wildly. If we just pop back over to the average here, you can see here, let's just say a 2 out of 5-star gem. We have some that are going for 64,000 platinum. We have some that are going for 35, 44, 34,000. All of those are vastly different. It could be half the costs of others. So that means that we need to simulate what it would be like to build out these characters. And that is exactly what I've done. So here at the bottom, we have a simulated build. What does this mean? Well, this means that I've gone ahead and chosen 6 legendary gems that is going to be commonly formed into a build for a lot of classes out there. So then we can go ahead and specifically target specific gems and their costs associated in order to give you exact numbers based on the market value in the game, not in real life. And so this gives you way more of an accurate estimate, because you're going to be using your platinum and fully using your resources in order for you to get the best value. So let's start with the Bottled Hope, and Bottled Hope is going to be one of the more expensive ones. Getting a 5 out of 5, again, we're targeting 5 out of 5s. You've seen Quinn69 out there spend $13,000 to try to get a 5 out of 5. It is just not realistic for that amount of cash because he's playing the slot machines. If you're playing the market and trying to get the most value, you'll find out the realistic cost. Again, this is not something that I recommend anyone do. It feels like a lot of money for very little gain. But I guess if it's your type of thing, it is what it is. But even if you're being very efficient with this, it is extremely expensive. So right here, we have a Bottled Hope 5 out of 5, 540K plat. $750 is what it costs to get 540K plat, assuming you're going and selling all your gems from Crests on the market, as we've gone over. A 2 out of 5 Bottled Hope is 50K platinum, rounding up here, and about $69 for a Bottled Hope. And that means that if you need 73 duplicates, you're going to need $5,000 to get those duplicates, and including the gem power cost, which we've already gone over, it's going to add an additional $2,655. Then you also have to add the cost of purchasing the 5 out of 5 itself, because remember, you got to get all the materials to upgrade it, but you also have to have the gem to upgrade. So that's an additional $750, which brings the total to about $8,438. And we can apply this to every single gem that we want in our build. For the Phoenix Ash, it's going to cost you $888 for the 5 out of 5 and $51 for the 2 out of 5. For Howler's Call, it's going to cost you, again, $888 and $61 for a 2 out of 5. Seeping Bile, again, $888 for a 5 out of 5 and $89 for a 2 out of 5. Blessing of the Worthy is going to cost you $888 for a 5 out of 5, and then $49. I guess these are all $889 as well, but $49 for a 2 out of 5. And a Blood-Soaked Jade is going to cost exactly the same as Seeping Bile, $888 or $889 for a 5 out of 5, and $89 for a 2 out of 5. So the total costs are for Bottled Hope, it's $8,438. Phoenix Ashes is $7,268. For Howler's Call, it's $8,018. For Seeping Bile, it's $10,031. For Blessing, it's $7,100. And then for Blood-Soaked Jade, it's going to be $10,031. You can see that these prices differ by several thousands simply due to the fact of how they're placed on the market. So if we were to add all of these up, we get our grand total of $50,888.40. This is going to be, again, it's still an estimate, but it's going to be the most accurate estimate out there. I would be confident in saying that if you were going to base it off the current market value as I'm making this video, it's going to be within $1,000, $2,000, assuming you're going to get a statistical average of your platinum out there. Again, this also requires you to sell your gems on the market, purchase the gems there. So it's going to be a long process, but you absolutely can do it if you want to invest the time into it. That is completely up to you. So that is 6 gems, 5 out of 5, for ranking them up to 10. But as many of you know, I had the recent video out there saying, oh, it's going to cost you $540,000. That is an incorrect estimate. So what would be an accurate estimate? Well, let's go ahead and showcase what it would cost in order for you to fully resonate your gems. These are a rough estimate, so I'll go ahead and explain everything that goes into coming up with this cost estimate. And we have total about $102,000. This is nowhere near the $540,000. This is also nowhere near what they thought it was going to be. They said if you get unlucky, it's going to be even more, which is technically true in terms of this estimate. And a lot of people think that this estimate, $102,000, is actually what it costs to fully rank 10 all 6 of your 5 out of 5 star gems. That is also not true. So your costs here, again, and when I say not true, I mean it's based on a statistical average, but that's what people were claiming. They were saying, oh, it's going to cost you this and it could cost you way more. I'm saying that this could cost you this and it also could cost you way more. So if you're really incredibly unlucky, you're looking at about 2.5 times these costs. So for ranking all your gems up to rank 10 and getting them all 5 out of 5, you're going to look at, or you're going to find it's going to cost you, if you're really unlucky, around that $130,000 mark. And if you're really unlucky for resonating your gems, you're looking at about $260,000. Now, I do want to mention that this cost estimate is based on these 6 5 out of 5 star gems, because when you go ahead and get those gems to rank 10, you have to resonate 2 5-star gems, but they do not have to be 5 out of 5. And then you have to resonate 3 2-star gems to rank 10. And that's going to cost you basically the same it costs to go ahead and get these to rank 10. Now, keep in mind, this could be even less, or it could be a little bit more, depending on what gem needs to be up to rank 10, as well as what 2-star gem is used. However, there's a lot less cost associated with it compared to a lot of estimates out there. And this is mainly due to people not understanding how the systems work, and also not taking advantage of the market, which can drastically lower the costs for you, assuming you're willing to go ahead and put that effort in. And if you're spending this kind of money, I would hope that you're willing to put in that effort to save you hundreds of thousands of dollars. But this is definitely absurd numbers. But keep in mind that when you're talking about these types of games, you're not meant to max out your character. It's kind of like comparing these games to a lot of those MMOs out there, where you're like, okay, if you ever played Guild Wars 2, this is the kind of the game that I compare this game to. I've spent over 900 hours playing out the game just as a casual player, and it's taken me over 900 hours to get my first legendary in the game. And there is over, I don't know, at this point, 30 legendaries. So that means I would need to spend about 25,000 hours in that game. And if I need to spend 25,000 hours in that game, you could translate to this game. And I would imagine that you would find yourself significantly lowering the cost if you had spent the same amount of money I had spent on Guild Wars 2 for you to progress. I'm not too surprised at this number. It's really not that large in the grand scheme of things and how much they're expecting you to play. It's a crazy amount of number if someone wants to go and drop that money at all, like $51,000 to max out your character is a lot of money no matter what. And $102,000 is absolutely ridiculous. Or in total, $165,000 roughly is absolutely just absurdly high to fully max out for just a minute amount of power. And I do want to mention that real quick, that this $51,000 is going to give you a lot of upgrades for your character. In fact, the first $1,000 you spend of this, I would say maybe the first $1,000 to $3,000 you spend of this is equivalent to the next $47,000 that you spend of this, simply for the fact that it's just exponential costs. Getting from rank 1 to rank 5, you can see you need 7 duplicates, right? And that costs you about anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000, depending on how lucky you are. And if we look at the total cost, it's going to cost you roughly about 450 gem power, 7 duplicates. We need 10 times that, 10 times the gem power, which is where you start to get these absurd estimates in terms of $51,000. So just keep that in mind. The first 5 ranks are significantly easier, and the next 5 ranks are absurdly exponentially higher. So there you have it. There is the accurate costs of Diablo Immortal, because a lot of people are giving you the wrong information because they don't know how to play the game. They don't know what the game's about. They don't know what the systems are in the game. Now, again, no argument for whether this is right or wrong, but definitely the information that you were given is wrong. So hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you for the next one.